It's taking a bit to upload. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's taking a bit to upload. Okay. Okay. Let me make sure we're on. We are. Okay. Okay, let me lower this. There we go. Peace to the east, west, north, and south. This is FleurBrun and Rod Hayes coming to you again with another amazing topic of discussion. So check on in. Hello, everybody. Hey, Earthlings. We have one of our favorite Earthlings on site tonight. Check on in. Welcome again to our special guest. I'm so grateful when he comes on because he has a plethora of information. So much information. And especially with topics that have historical accounts that, Rod is like a Akashic record that keeps going and going and going. So it's always nice to touch base with Rod and kind of see what's going on home base, but also get some archives and some information that'll kind of help us to navigate through, some of the formalities of occurrences that are especially happening right now. So check on in. Hey, Rod, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, FleurBrun? We back at it again.
Uh-oh. I got it, everybody. I'm silly. I'm such a geek. Anyway, so we're gonna touch on a couple topics. I like to wait until we get to 500. So I'll kind of like chat with Rod a little bit. So and also hold on, Rod, let me add something too. So everybody check on in. Now, Rod, I always ask you questions, personal questions, because I was like, because everybody kind of knows you, but some people don't. But I always ask, like, because you've been really inspirational as far as bringing a lot of information regarding the records about our indigenous heritage here in the Americas. A lot of the information as far as like, I mean, politically, you have a lot of the archives of how politically our countries have been set up and how that affects us. So I wanted to ask a question because we're not going on the topic until we get to 500, but I'm gonna kick it in and say, Rod, like what kind of brought you to this, to social media? How about that? Like, what brought you here? Like, how did you kind of come to coming on YouTube, speaking to the people? Like, what incentivized you to do that?
I has had a wealth of information and I needed an outlet. And the path of least resistance to reach the most people, right, is social media
Yes.
because people come across your content. I started on Facebook, right? I started making posts first, and people couldn't really understand the post because it was too much symbolism in it. And the
Mm-hmm.
pictures and all that, they don't
Yeah.
know how to translate symbolism into the common language. So a lot of my early posts was to give the common language and then show the symbolism that represented it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became a path of least resistance following the course of energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was also based on my mama kept telling me, don't talk to the people, talk to the wind.
How about that?
Right? It's based out of a book in Daniel, The Valley of the Bones. Yeah. You wasting your time talking to the bones. So they
Mm.
told Daniel, turn around and speak to the wind, and the wind
Carries the
will
message.
will wake the bones, right? So the wind is the symbolic representation of the airwaves, right?
Yes.
Before TV and all that, the airwaves meant talking to the trees, talking to the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody somewhere else will pick your message up by the response that the local animals give to the animals you spoke to. That was part of totem magic,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Well, we lost so much of that modern airwaves now because the same way that the frequency travel through the animal network, it's the same way it traveled through the computer network, the
Yes.
radio network, or the television network.
Hmm.
My opportunity to get the message out by radio, which is musically, that window closed because I did 16 years of isolation in prison.
Yeah.
So that window closed. Don't nobody want to hear what no 40-year-old rapper just getting out the joint got to say.
Well, I would have, but not everybody.
But for it to have this effective reach, then I
True.
knew there was no way I'm finna go to Hollywood and try to be an actor and tell it in satire and theater.
No.
That's just not gonna happen, right? So my other opportunity was the computer network.
Hmm.
And when you realize how many people around the world have computers,
Yeah.
that changes the reach, the scope, and the spectrum. And it
Yes.
also ties back to when we speak out in the public, we putting our information in the public domain.
Hmm.
And that also is a public notice to the system. As we go through the steps of how the system is set up in fraud and how they impose their admiralty jurisdiction on the land, we have
Hmm.
territorial rights,
Yes.
right? They have squatter rights and salvage rights.
Mm.
But we telling them our land is only spoiled because you here. They telling us we got to stay here because your land is spoiled.
Mm.
So we have to reverse engineer everything to get back to where we was in 1491,
Hmm.
right? There's so many people on social media and in a religious world that believe in somebody called a Hebrew, a chosen people of God, chosen above all other people. And they got to
What
wait till
kind of
God
God?
come back in order to get them a homeland.
What God though? Or what demon?
Right. This is the whole point I'm making. It's
Hmm.
the paradigm. All of these cities in America that's named after biblical names was
Yeah.
named after 1492.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
But now you have people that's using the Bible as the reference point to prove that these cities that's named after cities in the Bible are ancient cities. They ancient cities, but they not
Hmm.
them names,
No. No.
right?
You.
But
Yeah.
the reason why it become effective in utilizing it, because that was the poison they dosed us with.
Hmm.
So as we detox from the poison, we're gonna make everything apply somewhere else until it makes sense to us,
Yeah.
right? So now we have to go through the understanding of how do you get the most tribes on the land access to the information. And the smartest avenue was social media.
Yes. Yeah. The World Wide Web.
Yeah.
You touch all
And
these
the
different
size,
lines. Yeah.
yeah.
You
Because
already
I
think
didn't
about
have people call me from some of the strangest places in the world, a couple countries I've never heard of.
yeah, 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 yeah. Isn't that awesome though?
Oh
Like to
yeah,
have that kind of reach? Yeah.
yeah.
Consciousness, we always thought of consciousness as being limited to the space or the influence that we had just locally. And it's expanded, globally. And, you can even say etherically or, or astrally, because from what I understand from people who are quite sensitive in the ethereal realms is that the things that we speak of here, speak, is reverberated in the different dimensions and the astral plane. So it's felt and translated and kind of kicked out into space. So what we do and what we say affects all different realms and all dimensions. It's all heard, or acknowledged. Yeah.
So
So,
one of the things they have us under the false pretense is that we the only ones struggling to overcome a colonizer.
mm, no, we're not.
But I had people call from Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
from Tonga, from Samoa, from New Zealand, from Australia. We all fighting the same fight to overcome the colonizer everywhere they didn't call me from.
Well,
And
we call
many
it
of them,
colonizers. Yeah.
yeah, and many of them ask, what are they supposed to do? I say, go back to your elders and use your tribal tradition, your tribal oral tradition to overthrow the paperwork of the colonizer. Because you was
Mm,
there first. So your tribal tradition is the law of the land that overrides the admiralty jurisdiction if your people stick to it.
yes.
When they first come with it, they be like, that shit ain't gonna work. It didn't work for our ancestors. Yes, it did. They stopped using it.
Yeah. My grandmother said the reason why we have Tornado Alley on the land is because that's the ancestors kicking off the infiltrators. And it happens commonly as a way to kick up the energy to kind of clear the land. That's what she said. She said, that's just clearing the space for those who aren't from there. So that's the way the energies kind of work. And that's ancestral energy, she used to say. It's the ancestors' energy kind of using the wind and the elementals to clear the land. Yeah. That's why usually
You
on a
know, it's
lot
a
of,
goddess named
yeah.
Hurricane.
Wait, say it again?
It's a goddess named Hurricane.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You always teach me things. I didn't know that. That's like a fun fact.
It was a goddess of the winds. They called her Hurricane. But
Maybe that's why.
it's the difference in the spelling is the only reason it don't come up when you do a Google search.
Yeah.
But if you
'Cause
put goddess hurricane in front of it, put
yeah.
goddess in front of it,
Yeah.
it'll pull all her information up.
So interesting. So my grandmother had some legitimacy to that kind of, she said it was the ancestors doing that. Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
thing Garvey said. That's why he said, look for me in the whirlwind. I'll come back with the
Mm.
hundreds of thousands of ancestors.
Mm, yes, yes. And also, you look at a lot of the different reservations, and some of them are really, some are dilapidated and not really thriving or evolving. And if they were living on the land of their ancestors, that wouldn't be the case. They would still be thriving. And it doesn't matter if it's a concentrated space. So it speaks to
They don't
placeholders.
know how to live off the fat of the land. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So
Yep.
it's another
Yep.
thing too. The government, the ones who live in the lap of luxury, and the first
Mm,
ones with the casinos were the ones who struck deals with the government. The
mm.
impoverished reservations, the ones who are prosperous, is barred from giving aid and assistance to them.
Oh, what?
Yes, if they give aid and assistance to them, they'll be declared an enemy of the state and they will be raided by the federal government and their casinos shut down for violating the what's the it's a sovereignty clause that the Supreme Court rules over the reservations. So when they get permission to set up their casinos,
Yeah.
right, one of the stipulations is they can't offer aid and assistance to other tribes across the land. But
That's
it's no
insane.
different from the athlete contract
Yeah,
and the
I was just
celebrity
gonna say it.
contract
Yes, yes. They can't
where
help. Yep, go ahead.
like like for instance, Michael Jordan just got from under his contract,
Mm.
and the first thing he did was went and helped some disaster relief down south.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? We know that if he violate his code, they'd kill his daddy because they did it.
Hmm. Wow.
So he had to wait out the duration of his contract, and he couldn't help us. And then he was hesitant about who to try to help because he knew firsthand from personal experience that the enemy ain't pale face.
Mm, certainly not. Yeah.
So he tried to avoid um, people that was in the business arena that looked like us
Hmm.
because a lot of the times they either got handlers that's them people or they them people themselves.
Mm, 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 mm. It makes sense. It makes sense why, even when they do adoptions, you ever notice like the celebrities will do adoptions, they won't adopt brown children from the United States, they'll adopt children from abroad, for African children from abroad. That you can
Hmm.
tell there's a contract because it's all uniformed in their behavior. If we had all the athletes, all the actors, everyone who had this high amount of wealth take care so-called the very few brown people, we wouldn't be in the state of, the social conditions that is happening in the United States. But
Well,
obviously
they
there's
didn't
an
they didn't
undertone.
have them stipulations into their contracts until they started having multi-million-dollar contracts.
That's right. That's right.
They even put it on singers too.
Yep.
It'd be
You
part of
could,
their 360 deal.
you could
They'd
tell.
be barred from doing community work in the community you from.
Yeah. Because you never see them do any development in their neighborhoods. It used to be back in the days, I will say like maybe like in the 80s. I used to see it because I grew up next to Denzel's mom, Washington's mom, and he built up our boys and girls clubs in Mount Vernon. And he used to always come and like do more like upkeep. We'd have like big gatherings. It was a big deal, but it stopped after a while. I think that's the last time I really saw it like firsthand. And that
Hmm.
was like in the 80s. You know what I mean?
So once you get to a certain economic bracket, like Bill Cosby was one of the largest contributors to the United Negro College Fund.
Yes,
Bill
yes, yes.
Cosby sent more people to out of
College.
our community to college
Hmm.
than our community sent on its own.
I remember that. Wow.
See,
I
we
forgot.
don't know what the whole Cosby case was about. We
Tell
don't
us what
remember 70s culture, popping quaaludes,
mm,
right? We didn't know that that was like a common practice of the era to exchange quaaludes for sexual favor.
that's right. It was part of the culture back then.
Yeah. So why would he have to sneak them in somebody's drink? That's an
Mm,
afterthought.
mm.
That's an afterthought. They came up with that after the fact.
Wow.
And then when the case they unsealed, he literally said I exchanged drugs, pills for a sexual favor.
Hmm. But so
That's
did
what
the
they used as the evidence to show him slipping Mickey's in the drink because he said he admitted that he had exchanged pills for a sexual favor, but they didn't never show it until later on when they came up with the case. But they
hmm.
had been been at Cosby head for years. Remember, they killed his son for trying to buy NBC,
That's right. Yeah.
right? And then they leveraged buyout Mr. Johnson for BET.
Mm.
And so he was doing good business and to the point where he let them get too much control and interest in his company, and then they leveraged him for the buyout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So once they leverage him for the buyout, he take what he can take and get, and it's damn near as much as NBC was going for. He got he got what was it, $3 billion for BET, and they were selling at the time Cosby was trying to buy NBC. I think it was 5 billion.
Wow.
Right? So all this stuff is going on, but what got Cosby in trouble when he spoke on the secret code and said in the public speech, we not upholding our end of the bargain. We not teaching our children properly.
Yes, he did. Yes. Yes. I forgot. Yes. He was complaining about what was going on, like the influence that the music was having, how it was influencing negatively the youth. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, then he turned around, Oprah invited him on her show,
Mm.
and he was wearing shades on the show. That's cold. Ain't no, why are you wearing sunglasses in Oprah's studio? You got to think about that. Then he doubled down and explained it. but don't nobody know what he's talking about unless they've read the George Washington Challenge about them miseducating us and us not never finding out who we are, where we from.
Mm,
Now he didn't expose half of the plot. That's why he was sending so many of us to university to get higher education to learn how to do research,
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
right? Because you got to remember, in 1900, only 1% of the world's population is literate.
Hmm. Everyone was
Everybody in that
literate.
1% is part of a society that allowed them to read.
Occultists. Yeah, brotherhoodship. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was illegal
And
to read as well. Yeah.
for us,
Hmm.
look, it was illegal for us to read. It's illegal for anybody to do business with us in any form.
Hmm.
Nobody can bank for us. This is why
Hmm.
we was having our own banks.
That's
But
right.
they needed to shut our banks down to undermine the value of our currency in order to institute a false currency.
And make us socially conditioned to be codependent on their system. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you study the Panthers and you study the what they call gangs, you'll find out that they only was demonized because they was doing stuff for the community the government wasn't doing.
Yes. Feeding the
And so
children.
the
My mom was there.
government
Yeah.
shut them down
Yeah.
and say, you can't do it. We have to do it for you.
Hmm. Hmm. And then they started doing school lunches and breakfasts and adding that. I don't think that was in until after they shut down the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been instituted after.
I think toward the tail end of shutting the Panthers down, they were starting up school breakfast programs.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But
Hmm.
they couldn't cut the Panthers off before they started a version.
Mm.
It's a seamless transition. That's what they
Wow.
call it.
Yeah. So no one really feels it and they don't fight against it.
That's the
Softens
same
the
with
blow.
it's the same with EMTs. The
Oh.
original ambulance was us because we couldn't get to the hospital
Oh, that's
for medical
right.
care. So a group, some brothers and sisters from the land decided to create the ambulance and EMT, emergency
Oh my
medical
God.
transport.
That is clever.
So the
That's
government shut
right.
them down and opened up the organized EMT you see today based on their model.
They're just a bunch of coke. They're just a bunch of copycats stealing
Yeah,
everything.
they have to let us do it first because they don't know how to do shit.
But they wouldn't even know it existed until it was created first. Yeah.
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 They didn't know, like, for instance, vocational schools in the hood used to be trade schools in the traditional education, but
Yes, it
they was
was.
taking the trades out of the schools that we went to.
Yeah. Because all the boys in
So
my
now we
school,
not getting
yeah.
skilled trades. And
You remember that. Yeah.
yeah, so now
Yeah.
you have people like Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover, David Barksdale, and they trying to put vocational programs to teach skilled trades in the inner city of Chicago because skilled trades is the gateway from poverty to wealth.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. We had auto mechanic shop in my school. We had home economics. I loved it. We learned how to sew, cook, everything you could take. They had the electric room where you learned how to do basic electric, like the basic wiring.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was free. It was free in high school.
it's
For
part of the
those who don't
curriculum.
know. Yeah, yeah,
But that's at the same time they was extracting critical thinking from out of the curriculum too.
absolutely. Put one
Now,
in,
if you
you might
want
make
your
a few.
child to have critical thinking, practical problem solving, you got to take them out where the rich kids go to school.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they
Make
just so still happen to have skilled trades.
Mhm. Sure. And they work on core self-esteem in private schools first. They don't really do curriculum with the little ones. They build their self-esteem first. So that's how the wealthier schools or the private schools kind of work with the children. That's why you see when they come out of school, they're like leaders, they're unrelenting, they have a lot of strong self-esteem. It's purposefully done because they're not building worker bees, they're building leaders, while the regular schools are building slaves, chattel
Yeah,
slaves.
it just comes from a German model.
Hmm.
Is Volksschule, Realschule, and academia. Volksschule is false schooling.
Hmm.
Realschule is real schooling. Academia is where you train innovators and leaders.
Yes. Yeah. Even
Management is taught in real schooling.
oh.
They teach you how to effectively get orders to the ones that went to Volksschule.
Hmm. Fun fact show. Write this down. I hope the little ones are listening. Where's our youngins? Stay in the room. Rod is in the class. You know what I'm saying? Professor Rod, get in here. Make them sit down and listen. It's very important. This is you're teaching some things to myself that I didn't know. And it's interesting that we act as if the educational system is new, but under the colonizing concept it is. But in ancient times, where we're ancient societies, we're talking about that, ancient societies, where we had the Tartarian societies, we see remnants of, you know, not only just architecture that supersedes anything that we see that can be created under this so-called modern day time, but just remnants of communication or even linguistics that supersedes anything that's being taught in this society. What say you of the Tartarian societies that I haven't I don't think I was ever taught that. I learned that after the fact that Tartarian societies existed. The buildings that we see that were built long before those who came in and claimed it and squatted on the land came in, claimed it as their own. These societies had higher technology, higher minded, and many of those societies, if not all, were melanated.
Well, you got to remember the most of that stuff. First of all, the word Tartaria means west of Rome.
Mm,
Okay, now that's important because the orientation to determine what and where Tartaria is predicated upon Roman thought.
mm,
The place that the Romans are referring to is Tartarus that you can read about in the book of Enoch.
yes, yes.
Tartarus was a major metropolis in Atlantis. Um, Tartarus is the landmass that's under the ice of Antarctica,
Mm,
right? Everything there was flash frozen in an instant, right? And when that happened, everything under the ice was covered and kept intact.
woo! Go ahead, Rod. I have an addition later to this. Yeah, yes.
Okay, now that that ice has been there for some thousands of years, about 10 to roughly that thick. It was following what was known as a pyramid war. And it was part of them crashing the fourth dimension into the third dimension that will require us to need sleep.
Mm,
They done that by opening up a collider like CERN, and
yes.
they
Hadron collider.
spent particles around until they opened up a portal between third and fourth dimension
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and put massive explosions in there and shut it so that it'll collapse like a spring being stuck in a spot.
Mm.
And that's how you create an infinity loop.
Something
So
like
they
what we're
put us in an infinity loop
yes.
using technology and spirit science at the same time.
Mm.
Now, because we hit the Maherta for the first time and flipping through this infinity loop, we moving into the fifth dimension, right? So this goes from the age of Aquarius, where everything is about believing it, whether it's true or not, you just believe it. Or we go into Aquarius, the age of knowing, where our heads are no longer underwater, thanks to
Hmm.
the water bearer,
Yeah, the
right?
later.
Dumping the water out of the vessel,
Yeah.
right?
It could be the
And
firmament
so,
falling down, melting. Yeah.
right, symbolic of spiritual anointing,
Yes.
right? Because water is the physical representation of spirit.
That's right.
If you understand water and how it operates, it allows you to understand how spirit operates. The same way you can program the spirit to manifest your best life, you can also program the water to show in its frozen crystals what you was thinking about when you was manifesting.
That's right. And geometrical shapes and patterns.
Yeah. So Tartarus is what they make in reference to when they say Tartaria, but in the larger scope, it's everything west of Rome, Italy.
Interesting. That reminds me of the Matrix when I talked about Zion. That could be a concept of Zion, perhaps, like TARDIS. That maybe that's the reference because it's supposed to be under, like when the Nebuchadnezzar was under the bowels of the city. It's under
Mm.
the waterways. Interesting.
Okay, now the word Zion, remember, that's a biblical reference.
Yes.
It's a mountain called Sinai.
Yes.
The word Zion came about in the Semitic word Sion being translated into the non-Semitic speaking languages of Europe, where the
Yes. Yeah.
S and the Z is interchangeable.
Yes. Yes.
Mount Sion is the Mount of Sin. Sinai means seeing AI, artificial intelligence, the
Mm.
seeing of artificial intelligence. And it ties back to what we call seeing rights. The seeing rights is written by the god of the Middle East named Sin. So this is why they say everybody is a sinner, because you
It's
following the
literal.
seeing rights if you participate in Babylonian blood magic, Babylonian money magic, and Babylonian sex magic.
Ah,
Now, the three types of magic under the god Sin, whose name is Ninner Sin, right?
knitter, like NID.
Ninur
Knitter,
hyphen Sin, Sin.
Knitterson. Okay.
He's one of the sons of Enlil, who was fighting with the sons of Enki for control of the earth,
That's right.
right? Now, he got a brother named Murdoch, named after Enki's son, Marduk,
Marduk. Yeah.
because the goal is to replace Enki's seed as the rightful heirs with Enlil's seed as the interloper. So he changed the name of his son. Nindersin is named Nindersin because when we looking back on Semitic languages, it's similar to Ninigazida. Ninigazida is the son of Adnana, and he was
Anana.
raised by Enki.
Interesting.
That's your Loki story.
You're
The
so
ice
smart.
princess, the ice princess married the king of Olympus, but she already had the son Loki. But don't nobody know who Loki daddy is
No.
because he was born through parthenogenesis, which takes us to your Bible story. Emmanuel would be Loki, and Jesus would be the ice princess or Isis. because in Greek,
Oh,
Jesus is Isis. In
yes,
the Greek
yes,
language, Jesus is Isis,
yes.
right? The grand matriarch of the earth. The daughters of Isis is represented by different names according to the region that they was occupying
Mhm.
as their great mother. So it's 13 great mothers, the 12 daughters of Isis,
Right.
right? Each spread in this using the zodiac wheel as the template to overlay the earth in order to divide it up into 12 regions, the center being 13.
Mm,
Center is representative of the sacerdotal seat of the Great Mother, who's at one time she was referred to by the name Vatica. But when she got usurped, you never knew that they kept her name and called it the Vatican, where Big Mama's seat was usurped by Rome. So the seat that they telling you is St. Peter's seat in the Vatican is not St. Peter's seat. That's not St. Peter's seat is in another part of Europe altogether. And if you look at the Pope's seat, it sits under the huge Big Mama seat.
yes, yes. He
Make
can't.
no
It's
mistake
big of
about
Earth.
it, we know who the usurper is now.
Mm,
Now, biblically speaking, the term for putting the Pope's seat under Big Mama's seat is Jacobin. Jacobin in English is Jacobin, Jacob,
yes,
Yakub, the
yes. Because
supplanter, the underminer. You can't stop Big Mama from sitting on her seat, right? But you could stand there and make it difficult to get to it.
you could block her from getting to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the Jesus story is 2,000 years old. Jesus in Greek is Isis. The New Testament was not written in Hebrew. The New Testament originally was written in Greek by Josephus Flavius, based off the philosophy of the first century philosopher named Origen, in order to give you an origin story.
Rod, let me just give you a little compliment, okay? Just take it. Just take it. You're like a god. You're like your Earth arcade, like arc, like the archives of like a god of archives. Like you're like a walking ancestral, like just you like you got everything access. Where do you say you're from Earth? You won't come with me to space, so I guess you are from here. You know what I mean? I just want to give you a compliment. Keep going.
Okay, now the sacerdotal seat of the mother is how you win the game called Earth.
Mm,
But you have to play through the secret societies. It's not that
yes,
the society is secret. The part that they playing in the puzzle is the secret. Or else you wouldn't know what a Mason is. You would have never heard of it if it was a secret.
that's right.
You wouldn't know what a Shriner is if it was a secret. A
Yeah,
Rosicrucian.
yeah.
You wouldn't know what they is if it was a secret. You wouldn't have access to their materials if it was a secret. And the materials tell you everything I'm telling you now in the secret societies, but it's scattered out. It's a scrambled egg, and everybody can't put the scrambled egg back together.
It isn't a picture until all pieces are placed in the right order. So it don't matter if you
So
have
when
two
I
or three pieces. Yeah,
remember, I told you my mom was training me since I was little, right? She had me putting puzzles together at 2 years old.
that's a good mama. That's right.
And, and every birthday and every Christmas, I used to get a bag of Army Men and a pack of Hot Wheel cars.
Love it. Love it.
So the definition for the Hot Wheel cars came in when I was a little bit older in a movie called A Cannonball Run.
Yes, yes, you remember that? That was the bomb. Oh my God. I didn't remember until you just said it. Oh, that was the bomb. Oh my God. Me and my dad watched it together.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, now what is the Cannonball Run about? It's a great scavenger hunt.
Yes, yes. We gotta watch that. Everyone, hold on, Rod. Don't watch it. We gotta watch that. Oh my God. Like I totally forgot. Okay, go ahead, Rod.
Okay, it's a scavenger hunt where you got to collect all of the pieces
Yes.
and
Oh
then meet
my
at the final destination.
yes. Yes. This is the video game we're in. Yes. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
now watch
I'm
this.
geeking out. I'm geeking. I'm geeking.
Now, while you driving these Hot Wheels on this Cannonball Run, you
Yeah.
need somebody to run interference from Smokey and the
Yeah,
Bandit,
that's right. Yes.
right? Now, the thing about the Bandit is he's keeping the police distracted where the trucks can get through
Oh, I can't believe
in
you
a
remember this.
convoy. Remember that movie, The
Yes.
Convoy, 10 Rubber
Yes.
Ducky,
Oh my
right?
God.
Trucker lingo is
They got
code
that.
talk,
Yeah. Yes. The walkie-talkies. Breaker,
CBs,
breaker.
CB radios,
Yes, right. I love it.
right?
Breaker, breaker one,
And
two. Breaker, breaker, breaker.
so, yeah. So when I start putting all of these pieces together, I start coming out with a bigger and bigger picture.
Yeah.
Now I just got to zoom in and try to find out how can I get a reference to what this piece means so
Yeah.
people will know what the hell I'm talking about when I show it to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Context. Oh, we need the context. You
Hey,
got my
look,
mind.
remember I told you I was 777, right?
You did.
There's
You
one more
did.
toy she used to get me. It's called 21 Monkeys.
Wait a second. I think I know what that is. Wait, I think my big brother had that. Wait, what is it? Wait, 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 wait. What
It's a
was it?
game where the monkeys is in the barrel. It's 21 monkeys.
Yes, yes.
And you
My
got to
brother.
take them and hook the one, then hook another one until you and string all 21 together.
We had crazy games. That's crazy. That's why you think the way you think. That's why
7 plus 7 plus 7 equal what?
that's 49. 49 by 7. What is it?
21.
7 plus 7 times 7 times 7.
No, no,
Oh,
no, 7 plus 7 plus 7. That's 3
okay,
times
7
7.
plus 7 plus 7. Okay, yeah.
Right. So the 21 monkeys is a knock to the monkey
That's
that
you.
if you,
It's a gape.
right. And my mom, I got a memory being when my mom was pregnant, she told my daddy, that boy in there jumping around like a monkey.
Did she really say it? Did she really say that? So
Mhm.
you had that monkey energy right before, even before you came.
Look, so I asked my mom about it when I was about 4 years old. She said, "You remember that?" I said, "Yeah, I remember it like everything else." And
Yeah.
she said, "Baby, you can't tell nobody that. They gonna lock you up, put you in a mental institution. You tell somebody you remember what happened in the womb." So I shut up,
You
but I
knew.
remembered it.
Yeah. You didn't have the veil on. That's why you are who you are today. You didn't have that
Now here
veil.
go the irony to that. My sister that was born right after me,
Yeah.
she was born with a veil.
Right after you. So they made sure they inserted, they were like, we can't have another one of these coming out of this womb. They were like, nah, we're gonna put a veil on her. How
They
is
tried
she?
to they tried to poison my mama when I was born.
I know they did. They would have known you were coming. They would have definitely known you were coming.
Yeah, all you gotta do is watch the stars. You know when somebody coming.
The
There's some
Masons,
strange shit
yeah.
happened on the day I was born.
Tell us, Rod.
It's stellar alignments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
stellar
makes sense.
alignments and
Yeah.
yeah, it was
It's
some extra stuff going on in the stars.
Because energetically, you would have only been able to come through a certain kind of frequency and vibratory
Yeah.
frequency. Yeah.
And I and
Yeah.
then this is what they call knowing the geography. Because if you know the geography, then you know where they're coming. Because the
Hmm.
stars is aligning to a frequency. So we know somebody coming in the month of November. You know they coming in on the 10th day,
Hmm.
right? And you know that based on the geography, they have to be born here. See, where
Yeah.
Cook County Hospital was, where I was born at,
Yeah.
that's an ancient grand doula center from way before Columbus and them ever came. It was the training university for doulas for thousands of years.
So you had to be born on a ley line, specific ley line.
Look at Cook County Hospital and you'll see if the ley lines is there.
I'm
I was born at Cook County Hospital.
a soul like you. You've seen movies, the references of like Damien, like they always know the time. Damien, ho ho, Damien. That was a freak it. Remember that song? Like if I want to freak out my family, I'll play that in the house. Oh, oh, Damien. Like
You know that's Obama's story.
oh, I believe what?
So it's a series of movies that's don't seem like they related, but
Tell me,
they
tell me.
all telling you the Obama story. They didn't even come out in order. The first one came out was called Rosemary's Baby.
Ooh, ooh.
Then the Demon Seed came out after the Omen.
I
So
got the
in the
date. Demon Sea, yeah, Demon Sea was the bomb. Everybody got to watch that. You youngins, you got to get up on that. Yes.
so that was technology, which is the
Giving birth to
cloning
itself.
process,
Yep. Yep.
right? So
Smart house, a
the
smart house before there were smart houses. Yes.
Yeah. So
Uh,
now the technology is cloning, but we don't know what it is. But they use the computer in the
mm,
movie
yep.
to emphasize the technologically advanced method of reproduction.
By artificial insemination of
Right.
a
Now,
Borg. Yeah.
they told us that when Hitler moved to Venezuela, he started a program called Boys from Brazil.
That's right. If you watch the movie, it's a cloning process. Cloning
And
process.
they
Yeah.
and they telling us that they cloned 50 versions of Adolf Hitler.
Hitler. Yeah. Good movie.
It
Another
wasn't
movie, y'all.
it wasn't Hitler that they was cloning, it was Akhenaten.
Which is which is Obama, because that's who he's
Yeah,
referenced to be. I
right.
love how they do the bait and switch,
The
y'all.
reason why they cloned Akhenaten is to try to override the return of King Tut,
Mm,
which is Tupac.
interesting.
So they're gonna pull rank on the heir in order to try to put an elder over him in rank.
So that he wouldn't have the same position of power.
Right. So the put the movies in their proper order is the Boys from Brazil, Demon Seed, Rosemary Baby, then the Omen, 1, 2, and 3.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because then we see the president, a child come in from a senator's mother and father. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is your quintessential antichrist because he would be an interloper usurper to the throne of the son. So they figure if they clone the father, it'll take away the reign of King Tut. He won't get a chance to rule. The boy king will never see the throne. And that's why Obama tried to sell us out. The Pope told him to stand down. He tried to go and do a backdoor deal with the same way they did the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the Dirty Moors,
Mm.
because that's what he was created to do.
You just blew my
We're
mind. Now everything makes sense. It's the bait and switch. It's giving us aspects of the truth, but not putting it in the right context. So we're thinking it's a replication of Hitler, but really the ones who lead this realm are black, like Norman says, the black beings, because they worship the Dark Lords. I mean, people don't realize we looking for the Lunars, the white people doing it, but it's not them. We always look to that because oh, poor Obama, look how they treat him. But then I remember a guy saying, "Yo, Obama's the one ruling everything." They used to say that he was the one in what's his name, wearing the suits for the pooping president. The one that's where'd he go?
Oh, for Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were saying he was up in there because when when he had a little like a little pep in his step, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Obama. That's Obama in that suit."
Well, they had like 7, 8 different actors playing me.
We could have got a role
One
too. I'm a little chunky for that. I'd be all rolling all over.
now look, all this time we've been hearing Trump say he's central casting, she's central casting, I'm central casting. They're all central casting in here, and we don't even know what he's talking about.
Dag. Yeah, he was being
He was
literal.
telling us they actors the whole time because
Yeah.
remember they gave out the subpoenas for the tribunals at the old man funeral,
Oh, I heard about that.
and there was a note attached to it, and the note read, "They know everything."
Mm. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
And it was signed by the old man
Remember the
who
Gong Show?
was he was the highest ranked shield member of the Illuminati on the land. Skull and Bones, pirates.
What?
He got his position by assassinating JFK.
Mm-mm-mm.
His JFK Jr. told on him with George magazine and all of the codes that's all over the cover of every magazine.
Mm-mm-mm.
So now everybody in secret intelligence know who the old man is, what he did, and who helped him, based on the articles that was in the magazine with the codes in the articles. The whole magazine was coded cover to cover. But the regular people don't know the code, so we would have never figured it out. We thought George was just a great magazine,
Yeah. Yeah.
just like we thought they killed JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
they don't tell us, they don't like to tell us that there was never any bodies recovered. They came back later and say they covered some body fragments, but there was no people recovered from the JFK crash, JFK Jr. plane crash. And him and his wife was known to go parachuting.
And we could ask if Kobe died then too. That's another one that might be a
Well,
conspiracy.
the only curiosity I see in the Kobe Bryant is I seen the live footage on 5 different news channels, and it
Mm.
was a different helicopter every time.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And most people didn't notice it. Not only a different helicopter, but a different terrain.
Yeah, and the crash looked different. There was a different crash, the way it crashed. They showed it different angles and it wasn't the same.
No,
Yeah.
all it was 5 different crashes that was supposed to be a live footage of Kobe crashing. But my thing is how come this helicopter keep changing color, size, and shape?
Mm. We want Zoom
And
talking
nobody's
about.
asking no questions. And
Yeah.
how did you go? How you got one crash on a grassy hill, one on a flat
Yes.
terrain,
Yeah.
got one on concrete, one in a LA what they call aqueduct. This just doesn't make sense to me. It's too many.
It's a comedy show, Rod. It's a comedy show. I mean,
It's-
you would have to have some critical thinking skills and some common sense to know that
look,
that was some
you ever looked
shenanigans going on.
you ever looked at Aaliyah's crash site?
No, that to me was it didn't look
You
real.
you didn't even know. Did you notice all of them trails around the plane? Do you know
No,
how long it take to walk grass down into a dirt trail?
no.
Months, months. There was a crash site training for putting out fires on planes or for rescue missions on fallen airplanes. That wasn't a real crash site.
Rod, you're
It was
starting to
being
sound
used
like a
too much.
conspirator. You're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, Rod.
I'm not talking theories. I'm talking about go look for yourself and figure out what I'm talking about. Look,
Yo,
the
this
only way you can extract somebody is if you confirm that there's an assassination on their life.
mm,
Remember, yeah, a lot of people don't remember this. Dame Dash got in a car accident not even a week before Leah's plane
that's right.
crashed.
Yes, yeah.
She
I
was
knew about that.
supposed to have been in the effing car, but she wasn't. Even Dame said Aaliyah was supposed to be in the car, but something came up. He didn't ever say what came up,
Yeah.
but he's like, Aaliyah was supposed to be with me when I got in my car accident.
Mm,
But something came up where she didn't go.
yeah,
Somebody thwarted the first assassination attempt. Now you got to do an extraction if you wanted to live.
yeah. And then have, the dark shot what is her name? Sasha Fierce take over her place. Because that's really, when you get rid of one, you can put a placement of a more, limited version of her can take
Well,
over.
what did Aaliyah do to piss him off so bad? Queen of the Damned.
Wait, say it again?
Queen of the Damned.
That's right. That's
She was
right.
playing Kim Kardashian herself,
Woo!
the Queen of the Damned.
She played the role. She did a good job in that one. Aaliyah
Yeah,
never had an acting.
she was warned not to take that role. She said they told her it was going to be dangerous if she take it, but she liked the script.
Oh, it was almost perfect for her. It was a
So
perfect issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the whole thing she was playing Kim Kardashian,
Mm,
the Queen of the Damned.
she is. Her and her League of Gypsies, witches, League of Gypsy witches. Yeah, doing
That's a
very
coven.
well.
You don't remember that Travis Scott situation?
Yep, yep.
That was a public humiliation divorce. Blood in, blood out, baby.
Ooh,
That
totally
was a
ruined his
witch's
reputation.
divorce.
Take him out. If you go and leave me,
He
um,
was not supposed to overcome the stigma attached to the deaths that happened at that event.
absolutely.
But
Wow,
because
that makes
he can go on and live his life because somebody seen through the bullshit and put it out in the public domain in a timely manner, so he wouldn't have to be punished for somebody else's indiscretions.
mm,
Now, I ain't gonna say who put it out there, but you know
I do. Word on the curb.
him.
Interesting. Fun facts. How we went all the way to the east after we went to the west.
To the east, my brother. To the east, my brother. To the east, my brother. To the east.
Can you imagine being Rod at a family reunion? Be off the hook. Be doing crazy things. I'd be kicked out first, though, Rod.
Look, when I get my
Ah,
house, everybody gonna have to sit on the stage.
oh, that'd be fun. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. Yeah. You gonna have your hound dogs?
Now, there might be a couple gorillas standing around.
I like that.
I don't,
Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know how friendly my dog's gonna be to strangers, so I don't.
they're not supposed to be friendly. I remember someone said that your dog's not supposed to be friendly. That's not you know what I'm saying? Don't,
Mhm.
people like, oh, make them friendly. No, that's not right. They're
My
supposed
dog
to,
disciplined. I could tell him to go sit down, but
yeah.
my dogs ain't gonna bother you unless you're on some BS anyway. You got to come in with the wrong energy.
Ooh, that's good though. That's
You come
good.
in with the wrong energy, and I tell people all the time, I'm not. Don't worry about my dog biting you because if my dog biting you, I'm stomping you. Because the way I raise my dogs,
Yeah,
you got to be on. You coming in on some hot bullshit.
you don't let no reptilians will be able to sneak by your dogs, right? No reptiles. No reptiles. Go ahead.
I tell people that all the time. They think I be crazy. I ain't coming back here. I just do it with them dogs. You ain't got nothing to worry about unless you on bullshit.
If you're worried about it, what's the problem? The
That's
problem
all
is
I'm
you, sir.
saying.
The problem is you, sir. So, okay, so we get into all this business about the Titarian societies, the everything being west of Rome, which is interesting that you said that. And I always say, like, when I go into South America, I always found it interesting. I wanted to ask you that. You know, it's interesting. They always say that Rome died, it collapsed, it was burned down. But when I go into South America, all of the Romans are there. It's all Italians. It's all Romans there in Argentina, in Brazil, in Venezuela, in Chile. They're all Uruguay, Paraguay. It's all Italians. And they don't tell you that when you're in North America, but when you go over, you're like, oh, where are the Portuguese? Why do the
Well,
Italians outnumber them?
yeah, but it's the same as when you go to Mexico and there's some Spaniards there that you think native
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they ain't native. And you got
No.
Asians there that you think is Mexican,
Oh no, then yeah. That's a
you
yeah.
know, they there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, we be forgetting the God's crucible, one drop of blood make you one of us. This is why everybody want to marry into the bloodline,
Right now.
you know. And so this is what the whole purpose of the Great Migration to the Americas under the Discovery Doctrine was about. You froze, FleurBrun. I don't know if you know it. Can you hear me?
Or is it me? Did I tap
Yeah,
out or you? It
you
was
had
me,
froze
right?
for a minute.
It was me. Okay. Um, I know you have a different take on the National Guards, but I would like to hear your take because I know people were telling me, but I want to hear your take on the National Guards being distributed because at first they were distributed in DC. Now, I don't even think it's DC anymore. I'm going to ask you that question as well. Is the DC taken off of Washington? Because I heard word on a curb, Rod, is that they took the DC off of Washington. So I'm going to ask you that and then ask you what your take is on why it's in 19 states and what reasoning that's for.
Okay, so um, Washington is Washington DA, the District of America.
Okay. Oh,
Wh- Okay, now remember all roads lead to Rome. Before it
yes.
was Washington D.C., it was Rome,
Yes.
right? Okay, now to overthrow Rome, you have to overthrow Washington D.C. Admiralty jurisdiction.
Interesting.
Okay, now in order to give it back to the tribes, you have to go back through the different stages of government that took you away from the tribal standard, what we call the law of the land.
So we're receding. That's what you're saying. We're receding.
Right. It's the return. So the republic has to overthrow the corporate legal fiction.
Snap.
District of Columbia was the legal fiction that was created with the secondary constitution that was written in the blood of Crispus Attucks. That was the 200-year contract. The constitution that establishes DC is in the George Washington Masonic Memorial, and the blood is fading now, along with the feathers of the dirty Moors that came over here.
Yeah.
The chiefs that they was up against is in a mural. The mural is pointing is it's a painting of Carlos V, and it got the Inca chiefs on there. Inca mean people in
Yeah.
English,
Yes.
right? So it's got the chief of the people of the land, right? Carlos V is on there because he was the one who was wagering the bet with King George of whose side would prevail after the 200 years of miseducation and misdirection of who we were. Carlos V believed that it would be the chiefs of the land. King George, representing the 32-degree Scottish Rite, believed that his boys was untouchable in this game that they playing. Everybody got amnesia. Let's see who could figure it out from a place of pure ignorance. And so All of the representation is in place to play the great game. It's a chess game, fifth dimensional chess,
Hmm.
played in a three-dimensional reality, right? And it's to control the systems: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, war, and health. Health is the common denominator because don't none of the rest of them have any value if you don't have good health,
That's right.
right? So health is the common denominator to all nine areas of people activity as described by Dr. Neely Fuller in his United Independent Compensatory Code System for breaking the chains of white supremacy.
Mm,
So when he give you the outline of the nine areas of people activity, then I tell you health is the common denominator to them all. That's 10 areas of people activity, which is equivalent to the 10 Buddhist scrolls in the Journey to the West. The challenge to Lord Hanuman, aka Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
mm.
So to come to the West to find out what's the cause of the oppression, you have to first reach the heights of wisdom. You have to escape the Buddhist palm, also known as the Hamza palm,
Yes.
right?
Interesting.
Which has the all-seeing eye of
Um,
protection
yes.
in the center, as
Hmm.
well as the Buddhist foot,
That's right.
right? In the African tradition, you use it to fight off something called the Mingi.
Mm,
Mingi is the evil eye.
yes.
The evil eye is the one who's wishing bad on you while you trying to do what's right.
Hmm. Giving you that side eye.
Yeah. So when we come full circle, all of the myths of the world converge on America at this particular time and era to
Mm.
recover us from the amnesia and to inspire us to use independent thought and believe in the power of the self to overcome the weaknesses of the ego.
Question. It's interesting your take on what's occurring, and I resonate with it. Do you think because there's a interdimensional or galactic aspect that's on the back lay, do you think treaties or not treaties, there were things that are being done now that have to do with the presence that is now coming online and things are being uh like people's VIP passes are being revoked, things are being reestablished, things are being revisited because of that presence?
100%. So you gotta upset the justice sometimes to establish peace. You
Yes.
gotta you gotta break people out of the norm in order to establish a new norm. They gave us a norm that was destructive to who we were. We just
Yes.
have to return back to who we were and then and override their systems.
Interesting.
The system override is you embracing your sovereign capacity
Hmm.
to not be anybody's servant, slave, etc.
When they speak about ancient Kemet or, the colonized name of Egypt and its placement of being in Northern Africa, do you think that's like a bait and switch? Because I feel, you know how I feel. I feel like United Fakes, as we see it today, is the center point, is ground zero of consciousness and of the ancient world. I actually think it is the ancient world of Kemet.
Well, America goes back further than Kemet. Kemet is like It's a military outpost of America that was
Yes.
put in place by Tahuti. You can read about it in the Emerald Tablets,
Okay.
right? He came from America, went over there and settled Kemet.
Hmm.
And all
Ancient
of
Susa.
the writings in Kemet say it was established by Tahuti.
So we're going as far as ancient Suma, right?
Nope. Sumer is the cause of them setting it up, right? Because
Oh,
that's when Enlil's children start coming in to take over Earth. Enki
interesting.
tells Tahuti, who his dwelling place is the Americas, was taking place, and asks him to build a military outpost to overlook what's being built in Sumer.
Interesting.
But first, he had to subdue the locals,
Mhm.
right? So when he go through that, he used high technology that they perceived as a superpower,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So while they watching Sumer, because you got to remember this is where all of the um, Babylonian corruption emerged from,
Mhm.
right? So before that, it was under the rule of Ahura Mazda, which is Enki. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Zarathustra is another name for Mazda, is Enki, the wise one, right? So now the Anunnaki's contract on Earth concludes a 6,000 year contract. That's
Mm.
why they say the devil has 6,000 years to rule. Devil mean enemy. It don't mean no little spooky dude with horns. It don't mean no grotesque figures coming out of your wall. Devil just mean enemy, adversary, opponent.
Yes.
That's what it means. And anybody that's against your highest good is your devil. So once you
Yeah.
realize that the devil is just the opponent that's fighting against you, do you even know what you're fighting for?
Mm.
Because if you don't know what you're fighting for, it's easier for them to fight against you because all they got to do now is keep you confused about what you're fighting for.
That's right. And give you a new fight every 6 months. Yeah.
And that's why they want us to come out, march, and protest.
Oh yeah, I told you the new George Floyd is free Palestine. Even though every Congo is burning and genocide is happening, Somalia is happening, but it's free Palestine because that's the new George Floyd. They always have these catch. Not to say nothing's happening there. I got to keep saying that, but it's just they do that. They resurrect a new type of theme, you know, so that they can run a psyop on your mind and then they can hold your attention to guide it in the arena that they feel is most suitable for them.
Yeah. So most people think when you say the word false flag, it mean it didn't happen and they just acted like it happened. That's not what it means.
No, it happens.
False
Yeah.
flag just means that they took a situation, blew it out of proportion for propaganda warfare
Yeah.
in order for them to compel you to support them in doing some dumb shit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right.
Which people gladly donate their time to because social
Yeah.
engineering is real, and with toxic food, hybridized food, chemtrails, things that
That's
kind
why
of, yeah,
I used to tell people, wait till the gossip circle get a hold of this stuff. I'm saying it's gonna be over with because it's gonna fat. It's gonna move faster than the forest fire.
yeah, yeah,
Because now they got something to gossip about with receipts.
yeah.
Oh man, look at here. What Houdini say you had to tell Sarah, and she told Carol. Then the story rolled on, just like a wheelbarrow. Carol told Easy what he thought she heard, and somehow Easy E got the word. And he told somebody I knew from uptown, and they called me up and put me down. Now the whole damn story's been changed around.
That's how it goes, right? Right through the Remember the walkie-talkies we used to have? They were called cups, paper cups, and you just put a string across and
Yeah,
then, go across the word and no message was ever the same.
no. Or you ever see them do the whisper in one person ear, and then when they get to the end, the statement is totally different.
But it don't even match whatever it started off with. Yeah, classic.
But you know, there's a contingency for that.
What?
You count the number of people,
Hmm.
and you listen to what the last person said, and you know that's not the right answer. Deductive reasoning. You look at the condition of the people that's talking. If you know all of the people, you know what the original statement was. It got
Oh, you're
twisted out of
right.
proportion.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
The only
absolutely.
way, only way it don't work if you don't know the people.
That's true. Because if oh, Susan, she likes to elaborate. She likes to expound a lot. She likes to add a lot of embellishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tom, he want to make everybody gaslit, so he gonna add something to the mix. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to hold you too long, Rod, because I like to be a good host. But I would like to answer if you'd like to answer questions, if you'd like to.
let's go.
A couple. A couple? Okay. So I'm gonna if I can, I'm gonna ask for our amazing everyone. Thank you for everyone. Everyone's excited. You're here. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna add you to the mix. We're only gonna do a few. So let me add you to the live, and I just ask that you ask one question, because again, if we want to get at least two or three people in and ask Rod a question while he's here. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta add it. Okay. Have you come in? Oh, let me get a waiting room. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I didn't put a waiting room. Let me put a waiting room in here because then everybody will come in and just pop in. Hold on. What do you? Let me put a waiting room. There we go. Okay. Then I'll put it. So come in. Don't be shy. Oh, darn it. It's too long. Hold on. Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu. Alors, hold on, y'all. I put in too long a link. Sorry.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to go back to the question about the National Guard. So
Please,
the
please.
the the Republic, when the Republic comes to the reestablishing and the purging of the deep state, before they can get rid of the police, which is a foreign military occupying force, they had to secure the land with the National Guard, so we don't need the police because the police work for the Crown of England. They don't work for us. The judges don't either. So all of them going to eventually have to be shut down too, right? And this is why you seeing um, they got these people from the Department of Justice putting all of the cities on public notice, right? Because they haven't been following the Constitution. And according to the Declaration of Independence, we got a right to dissolve the government if they fail to uphold the Constitution. They failed to uphold the Constitution, and now the tribes are actively dissolving the constitutional government,
Hmm.
right? And the reason why they picked 19, it's a sacred seal Islamic reference. The sacred seal means the final stamp, Alpha and Omega, because it's only
Interesting.
nine numbers.
I didn't know that. All right. We have our first person. That's Aqua. She's coming on in. Coming in, Aqua. Hey, Aqua. Hey, Sea Star. Looking cute.
Hey,
Look
hey,
at my
Frank.
bridge. See my bridge. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Hey, Chief Ron. Oh my gosh, I'm finally going here because I couldn't ask the question the last time because they wouldn't let me in.
Okay, well let's ask the question this time then, since they let you in.
I know, right? My question is, okay, um, I don't know if you ever got asked this, but this is for my family. So on my family side, my matriarch side, we are Lakota and Sioux Indian and or Sioux. But I knew that since I was younger, but I do not know a lot about because we are my ancestors are Chief Sitting Bull. So I don't know a lot about Sitting Bull.
So Sitting Bull actually reincarnated as Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G.
Mm.
And the reason why Tupac Amaru reincarnated as Tupac Amaru Shakur was publicly lashing him, he had to agree to it first. He publicly lashed him because in the history, Sitting Bull waited until the enemy had overrun him before he notified the rest of the chiefs. And he used to like to sit in his chair. If you Google childhood pictures of Biggie or
Mm-hmm.
just type in Biggie Small sitting, you're gonna see all these pictures of him sitting down in the chair. And then when you look up his zodiac sign, you're gonna find out he was a Taurus, the bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the original Sitting Bull was a war chief, but he's only authorized to go to war if it's signed off by a peace chief. And the history they gave us was just enough where we barely recognized the energy when he returned. So they playing Biggie and Tupac is playing out this East Coast West Coast entertainment story to show you a historical return of an energy. Um, like ODB was using the Chief Crazy Horse energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Geronimo was Geronimo Pratt, right? And it's a whole bunch I can name. I can name at least 100 of them. But we all had to go into this amnesia, and Sitting Bull was one of the reasons we had got overrun to the level we did because he didn't believe the threat was as great as it was. So that's why we was called to war by Big Mama instead of by the war chief.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's a lot of writings on Sitting Bull. I think I read at least 3 biographies from different authors.
Yeah, we're up to like 4 generations. So great 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 grandmother is part of Sitting Bull. I just don't know um any anything further.
Yeah, well, he came back to collect on the debt. That's all I can tell you about that. He came back to collect on the debt
Mm.
because this how he is. We don't get you in this lifetime, we'll be back.
Mm.
That's why they can't never beat us.
Because we keep
If
coming
we
back and back and
if
back.
we gonna keep coming back till we win.
Mm.
And the game ain't over till the game is over, and we'll run it all the way up to the last minute on the clock before we shoot the buzzer shot.
Mm. I know that's right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you, Aqua. I'll see you later on Zoom. Well, tomorrow. No,
Oh
not the
yeah.
day after, day after. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, we have one more. I think we have, I think, can you, oh, hold on. Let me, okay. Okay. And then we'll have, sorry. And then we have Alex. Okay. So come in, Alex. Alex? Nope. Yes, yes, maybe. Hello, hello. Says 3.
I only see just me and you.
Me too. Oh, he's joining. It's taking a minute. Okay.
Sometimes it might be buffering.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here he is.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
Alex. Hey, Alex.
Awesome, awesome. Is my mic working?
Yeah, it's working.
Perfect, perfect. Hello again, Rod. Thanks for coming on. I'm the guy called Zale, if you remember me. So I got a question here. I've always had a connection to the color purple. It's always kind of stalked me. The whole purple aura thing. Mo Almost every day, I'll have like an out of body experience where like I'll be lying down on my bed either right before I sleep or right after I wake up, and then I'll like my soul basically. I feel like my soul basically leaves my body, and then I sink down to the floor. And as soon as I sink down, it's like a free fall, like just a straight up free fall. And it's always like I'm assuming it's like a portal because it's always black. It's a black space that I'm falling on. And but around this black space, it's like it's round. I'm guessing it feels like a cylindrical like pit, like a circular pit. And there's like purple glowing like hero. It looks like hieroglyphs, I think they're called, those Egyptian hieroglyphs and
Mhm.
runes. Um, excuse me. And then there's also the other connection to purple is I've seen my higher self a few times, and he always looks the same. It's just like he's around like 8 to 9 feet, um, dark skin, but not very dark. But his eyes are is always glowing purple, like like a plasma kind of electricity kind of going through. And there's also another experience I had about a year ago, where it felt more like a mm, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain. Memory, I don't know. But basically, I was in a room and there was a lot of these it looks like soldiers. They were wearing like gold armor and everything, but I was in a dark room and they put me in a chair and they were just like constantly like hitting me, right? It was like a torture or something. They're like whipping me, whipping me, whipping me. And then they were just whipping me out, but I was just confused the whole time. I was like, why are they doing this? Because I don't feel any like threat. Like it's as if like I don't know why they're doing it, right? But they kept hitting me, hitting me, hitting me until I got fed up. And then as soon as I got fed up, the entire ground became black. Like it was like a void. Everything became black, and all these like purple, basically black spears with like purple plasma around it just went up and just stabbed everyone, right? And then as soon as that happened, it was like I'm assuming she's like a princess figure. Um, she looked very Somalian. But yeah, she probably I don't know, probably in her low teens. She looked very sad. She told me she basically long story short, she said this is something like it's like a ritual, like it's something I had to go through, and she didn't like it. And they sent me, and then there was these like giants basically. I was put on like a back of this giant. It's like in modern terms, you could say his head would like reach the clouds, and he was leading me to a city. It looked very similar to like kind of like a Wakanda, but basically it was a city or a civilization that revolved around purple crystals, right? Like everything like is there's a big like thing about purple crystals in this civilization. And I just wanted to ask you, do you know anything regarding a civilization or a people or I don't know, like a universe or a world that has a connection to this purple? Because I haven't heard anyone anywhere in my whole life talk about like just mention anything like this. So yeah.
Well, one thing that you described, the tunnel with the purple glyphs around it, right? You going through your crown chakra to leave your physical body. Your crown chakra is purple. So you enter in through your crown chakra,
Mm.
which is not uncommon, but most people exit either through their heart chakra or their third eye, and then they'll see different colors. The ones that's exiting through their chakra, when they exit, they'll see everything in shades of green.
Mhm.
And I think it's like a bluish color through your
Throat.
throat chakra. I forgot the color for the third eye, but mostly most people travel through their third eye because they'll project themselves out, or their heart chakra because they'll feel their way out. But you are using a
Higher.
yeah, you coming through the crown chakra, which
Mhm.
is some of the systems for training yourself for astral travel tell you to focus on your crown chakra because you want to exit through the crown.
Right on.
Right. So it's also right above our head. It's like a auric gateway to open the aura. And once the aura is open, you can exit the physical body. Your consciousness freely flows. Inside the physical body, you're a whole light being, but you can't see the light because of the physical body, right? The another thing that you mentioned was the guys in the gold and they was beating you, but you didn't feel like an intimidating threat until you got fed up. That's an ancient ritual of initiation
Hmm.
to cause you to awaken from your, past life slumber in this life, right? You gave a whole lot of symbolism tied to ancient cultural phenomenon, like when you described the city with the purple crystals. There was actual cities in Atlantis that was crystals with different colors, and one of the colors that was prominent was the purple. That was called the royal house. So your spiritual rank sounds pretty high based on what you describing.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you, Tyler.
thank you very much. It's nice
Thank
to
you.
know that there was a connection between what I was talking about here and what I talked about last time.
Yeah. All
Appreciate
right.
it, Rod. I really
Yeah.
wish we could talk a lot more. I really wish, but yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Okay, we'll take one more question and then we're gonna boogie on out. Boogie on out. Okay. Hold
Look, the
on.
irony is that his number is the numbers on his name was 444.
That's right. Yeah.
That mean an angel on his post.
Woo! Yeah. He's very high. He's very high conscious, high. He does a lot of astral, like easily. Just travels. The beings that contact him are really beyond most people's interface. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Okay. Okay, last question we're gonna take from Delmache. Hey, Delmache. He's very high. He's very high. Hey, hey, Delmache.
Hey,
The beings that contact him are.
She
I
Oh
am
got to
wait.
turn her
Oh, you
she
got
got
your
to turn her
speaker on.
device on.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I was trying to
No,
turn it
it's
up.
okay.
Can you
That's
hear me
okay.
now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No echo. Hey, Rod. Hey, Fleur.
Hey,
It's
Mama
so good.
Case. Mwah.
I love when you come on the platform, Rod. You are a wealth of knowledge. We all just love you to death.
Yes.
Um, so I have a quick question. I recently heard, I haven't had any time to do any research on this, but I wanted to know since you're walking Google, um, if I heard that King Tut was actually buried in the Grand Canyon and not in Egypt slash Kemet, as they have told us. Just another lie to add to the pile of lies, or what?
It wasn't the Grand Canyon, sweetie. It was Kentucky.
Oh, but it was still here. It wasn't even in Kemet.
Yeah.
Wow.
They found a whole Egyptian setup in Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. They got articles from back in the day about it, but they didn't
Okay.
want us to know that King Tut was discovered over here because we would have instantly knew who Tupac was.
Wow. That's deep.
That makes sense. We have a girl from our group, right, Delmache? It's oh God, she's from Kentucky. She said she woke up one day and there was like crystals in the ground, like crystals.
Oh, yes. Miss Myrtle.
Miss Myrtle. She said she woke up, she's in Kentucky. She saw like big pieces of like stagnant like crystals coming out of the ground.
Yeah. In her
Like if they were
backyard.
growing.
Yeah, that's not uncommon for high energy centers,
Mm.
Yeah,
especially during this time period, because a lot of that energy, spiritual energy, we are being able to see it with the naked eye, and it's taking on three-dimensional form.
that's true.
Wow. Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you so much. I really appreciate you answering that. I'm going to do some research on that.
Yeah, and in the Grand Canyon is the original temple of Isis, the original temple of Osiris, the original temple of the Buddha. It's a whole bunch of them over there.
Okay. I'm sorry, Fleur. I just got one more quick question. I'm
you. Go
sorry.
ahead.
Okay. I also heard about this tribe that lives in the Grand Canyon. And I don't have a whole lot of information on them, but there's an indigenous tribe that lives there. You know, they don't associate with anybody outside or something like that
Yeah,
of their
that's their
tribe.
contract with the government.
Oh,
It's
okay.
actually a reservation, but the government, because they experience so many what they call paranormal phenomena that's normal to them,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want them talking to the other people, telling them about the paranormal phenomenon that takes place in the Grand Canyon all the way to um, Mount Shasta to it's another little spot over in California that's a hot spot too. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't want them telling of us regular people about all of this paranormal phenomenon and the ships they been encountering
Mm-hmm.
because they can open portals from the ground in the Grand Canyon and they can allow ships to come in and out of the atmosphere without nobody never knowing they came.
Mm.
Wow, that's deep. All right. Well, thank you, Chief.
Yeah, you are.
Thank
Bye,
you so much.
Fleur.
Bye, Mama Cakes. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I
We can
love
take
Fleur.
a couple more if you want to.
Oh, can I? Okay, I got Oracle.
Yeah,
She's been
we
waiting.
can run into 11.
Can we? I sound
Yeah.
like a little girl. Can we please? You know, I'll chat with you all night. Okay, okay. All right, come on in, Oracle. Come in, Oracle. She's coming. These are like my best homegirls in the group. They love you. You've got like groupies, like, but conscious groupies. Hey, Oracle. Hey, pretty
I
girl.
don't think she up yet.
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, mama.
There you go.
Oh, hey, Chief Rod, how are you?
I'm good, sweetie. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you, Flora Mama, for having this platform. This is amazing. I just wanted to ask you, Brother Chief. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and growing up here, the Canadian history that we were taught, with regards to the Indigenous was all about, the Micmac, Algonquin, Iroquois. The resurgence of memory that the our American melanated brothers and sisters are having with regards to understanding their true origin, I don't see happening here in Canada. And I was just curious if you had any insight as to, like, do we have any chiefs up here in Canada? Like, what's going on up here?
So if you go back to the Pope visited Canada a couple years ago, remember that?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
remember the sister Sipico put him on public notice.
Mm.
And one of the last things she told him when she was walking away in the native tongue was that the chiefs have been selected across the land,
Well, what was
which
her name
includes
again?
Sipico.
Sipico. Okay.
Yeah, you need to go back and review that because she was the spokesperson that was selected by Spirit to put the Pope on public notice.
Mm. Okay, so we do have chiefs on the land up here in Canada, and they know what's what. They know.
Yeah. You ever heard of Queen Diallo?
Yes.
She's doing for Canada what Trump is doing for America.
Ooh, Diallo. Okay, I used to follow her on Telegram, and then I lost contact with her.
Yeah. So
Okay.
she's the commander in chief for the Canadian system, however it's set up. And Trump's the commander in chief for the armed forces of the United States of America.
Ooh.
That same position and function, right? Most people don't know that Canada and the United States and the International Stock Exchange have the same QSIP number. And most
Mm.
people don't know that Canada was part of the Louisiana Purchase. They think it just stopped at the border of America and Canada. No, the
Yes.
Louisiana Purchase included all of Canada too.
Oh, snap. Okay. Okay, well, thank
Right.
you so much, Brother Chief. I really wanted to, like, yeah, find out about that. Thank you for so much.
Thank you,
You're
mama.
welcome.
Talk to you later, Oracle.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we got Stacy Heward coming in. We're going to YouTube land, Rod. Let me let Rod come in. We in YouTube land now. We got a different spaceship. So come on in. Well, come on up. Minute, Stacy. Oh, thank you, my love. Oh, thank you, Saranda. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
You muted, Stacy.
She's good. Stacy, just push your little, because sometimes they don't know, push your little microphone, your audio, Stacy. You'll see like a little microphone. Just push it and it'll unmute it. There she goes.
Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
Stacy.
Hi. All right. I was surprised I was able to get in. I was
Don't
just
be
trying
surprised. You always welcome on the Mother Hupper Show.
to. Thank you. My question was, I'm from Johns Island. It's one of the Peninsula Islands outside of Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh.
And we're the Sea Islands people, I guess, and we're the Geechee Gullah people. What do you know about us? Because I'm still trying to figure us out.
Well, for one, y'all been there so long, it wasn't there for y'all got there.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Now,
know
one thing
right
that you
now.
got to know that's important about the Gullah Geechee, it was the Gullah Geechee Big Mama that sounded the alarm for all tribes to come fight in the Gullah Wars.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
it's called the Gullah Wars instead of the Seminole Wars.
Yeah. See, I'm just learning that
The,
too because I've only known it as the Seminole War.
the Seminole is the term that the colonizer gave the conflict
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
because they was referring to us as Seminoles, which don't mean runaway, contrary to popular opinion. It means mixed groups of people because
Okay.
they were seeing all these different phenotypes of tribes from across the land fighting together against the conquistadors, the Spanish.
Mm,
And
okay.
in Louisiana, we was fighting Huguenots, the French,
That's right.
right? So the richness of the culture predate any recorded slave narrative they gave us. Y'all was there doing the same thing. That's why y'all will not speak common English around certain elders because they don't want to hear it. They want
Mm,
you to speak what we call Gullah English now.
that's right, because
Right.
we be geeky around. Yeah, that's how we talk.
Yeah, right.
And then I
But
see
just like
that the dialect, God.
there was Gullah Geechee, it was Getty Geechee, and it was Giddy Geechee. Those was different
Oh,
tribes from the region. But two of the tribes was erased from the memory. But the Gullah Geechee was so rich in culture that you couldn't erase them because you couldn't stop them from talking what's called the pigeon tongue.
mm. Oh,
Heard
they
that
would
before.
shame you around here if you were talking that tongue. You'd hear people say,
Mhm.
well, you speak proper English. I don't want to hear that noise,
Mhm.
teachers and stuff. Or they would,
But
say that you failed English because you spoke Gullah.
yeah, and as they was trying to
Mm,
stamp that part of the culture out, and the
yeah.
Gullah Geechee people has always been proud people.
Oh, definitely.
So
That's
you can tell them to do what you want them to do, and
right.
they ain't gonna do all of it. They gonna do the part that they think is
Nah,
okay with them.
that's right. They
And
ain't
that's
about
what
to do
they show
that.
us in their language.
Exactly.
And they
Okay.
show it to us in
I
the food too, but most people don't know the Gullah Geechee got a different way of cooking than anybody in the South.
We do. Yeah. We're rice eaters big time. We love some rice. But I
Yeah.
know it's so many things are being gentrified. The island is just being taken over where we are. There's a lot of back and forth with heirs property, titles and deeds going missing, and it's a big
Yeah.
headache right now. It's sad, like all the families that lived right there in the marsh areas or near the river and could get their crabs and their shrimp, and they tell you, oh, you can't get that much crab, or she'll get a ticket, and make you throw the shrimp and the fish and stuff back. But this is how we fed our families. This is how my grandparents fed my parents. So it's
Yeah, they ain't
crazy.
supposed to they're not supposed to regulate the tribe's survival living off the fat of the land. But they can't
Oh,
force you
definitely.
into the grocery store unless they restrict your avenue of eating off the fat of the land.
Land, yeah. Well, the grocery stores really are limiting the type of food that we are used to getting. Like, like the salted meats that we put in our pots, the different type of rices that we're used to making. Everything's like the chain grocery stores now. Mom and pops no longer exist, at
Mhm.
all. And the little meat markets and things, they're gone. But I try to
That
keep
was
my
part.
children close to what I know.
Yeah, that was due to integration though, because if you go back to the '60s, like y'all didn't allow people to tell y'all how to do business in y'all community.
Exactly. That's
It
right.
wasn't until
My
people start
father had a
getting what
gas
we.
station and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. A gas station, a liquor store, a juke joint, and a kitchen where my grandmother and his sisters and my aunts and stuff would cook in. And they had that up until maybe 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did is they start making us go out and get jobs. We
hmm
start getting
Yeah.
what we call a good paying job. We stop
Good
supporting
paying
our
job.
family business.
Yeah.
That's
We
right.
we stopped wanting to run our family business because it looked like the ones who got a good job was the success
Would
story,
seem like they were
never
doing better.
knowing,
Yeah.
yeah, never knowing that as long as you had that family business in the family, you always got somewhere to go home and eat.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
the land that
systemic.
I'm living on has been in our family for 100 years, little over 100 years,
Probably
and
been in your
my
family
aunt
longer than that, but they probably
longer
changed your
than
family
that.
name 100 years ago.
Probably, but that's the one that I know of. And my aunt passed away last year, and her
I'm
house is
sorry.
being sold by my uncle. And this is the first time a piece of property in our family has been sold on our family hill, because our hill consists of aunts, uncles, cousins,
Love
in-laws,
it.
and right now it's like maybe 12 houses. But that's just slowly dwindling away. It's like we're being surrounded by the outside world, I guess. So they're
Sorry.
trying to get where we are. I know, right? It's
That's
hurtful to see it
hard. That's
happening.
hard. It's so
It
nice that your
really
cousins are
is.
outside, auntie, when something's going on, you could go
Right?
sit on her porch and talk to her all night.
Okay.
Like, auntie,
Picking
what
plums off
what's
the
going on?
trees.
It's so
That's right.
beautiful. It makes it's so it's hard. You know what I mean? Like
It is.
a lot of us are
It
still very
is.
tribal in our heart. And it's
Yes.
hard to hear that you're dealing with
It
that. And I'm
really is.
sorry.
Oh, I know. I pray about it all the time. Yes, yes.
Mm.
But I
They've been
thank
trying
y'all
to
for allowing
muscle
me
the
to share.
Gullah Geechee out of that, off those islands to turn them into resorts for 500 years.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, we have two resorts on the other end of the road here, and they are growing. Just seems like daily. It's like, when did
They
this
they
building
taking
get
more and more
here?
land. That's where your air land is
Oh,
going.
more. That's right, more and more land. Yeah, there's two. One of the resorts hosted the PGA golf tournament a few years back, and
Yeah.
seems like ever since then, that's been it. That was the green light.
Once it
You
starts,
know
it's hard
what's
to
gonna
stop
be
them.
you know
Yeah.
what's gonna be
What is
y'all
that?
saving grace?
What is it?
Y'all culture was originally matriarchal. So every exchange of territory or land that was done and it got a male signature on it,
hmm
whoever the woman of record was, that's who it's going back to.
Back to okay. All right. Well, that's all I ever know is Big Mama.
Yeah, look, men did not have the right to sell the land from under the women. But when the
Mm.
foreigners came in with the sweetheart swindle, they started that shit.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
They would marry the big mama, poison her off, and then start doing sharecropping agreements to lose the land on purpose.
Mm.
Wow.
Evil.
Okay. Okay. Because one of the
It's
largest
wicked.
families
So
over here
wicked.
on the island, I see that their property has been, I guess they call it something for the better of the common use of the area. And what they
Hmm.
basically did, they gave them a check for what they thought the property was worth and told them that they're going to use it to better the community. So now they're putting a whole shopping center there. And this family's
Yeah.
been there just as long as my family. It's like, are you serious?
That was eminent
Yeah.
domain. That's what that process is
Eminent do
called.
ex- yes, yes, that's the term, exactly. And I mean, it's a huge
So
piece of
eminent
land.
domain was part of the salvage right of the corporation when they declared we crashed our landmass into their ship, the Plymouth, which we know today is the Mayflower.
Uh-huh.
And Malcolm told us we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Landed on
That's
us.
right.
All right. That's so real. But every day I wake up, it's a blessing to be here, but it's still a shock to see it all.
Stay strong,
Yeah.
and times are changing too. Like Rod was
Yeah.
saying, we're kind of going back, and there might be a revisionist kind of resolve to bringing women back to their placement of power and authority and just peace and balance.
That's
So,
Yeah,
right.
see, that's what people don't understand about the matriarchy because they're so used to patriarchy. They think it's
Mm,
patriarchy with women in charge. Women don't rule like men,
mm,
that's right.
a lot
right?
different.
Like the most qualified person for the job fulfills the function until they can either find somebody better or train a replacement,
Hmm.
All right. That's
right?
right.
That's under the matriarchy. Under the patriarchy, just go to school for 4 years and we're gonna give you these letters and that make you qualified for the function. And you
Get a
batshit idiot about the job.
certificate. Yeah, get a certificate.
Okay. That's
Another
it.
thing about matriarchy too is the like family court. You don't go to family court under the matriarchy. My mama and your mama, my sisters and your sisters sit down and say, is he a good father? Is she a good mother? Which one of them would be better to take
Mm,
care of the child if the other one can't be in the picture with them?
Mm,
that's
I get chills
right.
when you say that. I get such chills. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different energy.
Hmm. Yeah.
You don't take no child from no parent. That's
Oh,
retarded,
goodness, no. Mm-mm.
right? And then
No.
the whole narrative of the child support, most people don't know. It don't got nothing to do with the child. It got everything to do with who's going to get a yacht this year versus who's going to just get a vacation.
Hmm. It's entrapment. It's a form of entrapment.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And it's to
So
cause resentment between the males and females too. So it causes rift, and they want us to not
Mm,
be in sync with one another. So you create these systems that support the fragmentation of the brown man and woman bonding, the indigenous.
break up a family's period
Yeah, yeah.
that's right.
because they don't discriminate who family they break up.
No, they don't. No. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, okay, now remember we were talking about the National Guard going into DC earlier,
Yeah, yeah.
and that I seen the clip today talking about that there's no homeless people under the bridge no more and it's all cleaned up. That's matriarchal orders.
Mm,
Every under the matriarchy, everybody gotta have a place to go to rest their head with shelter.
that's right.
Under the matriarchy, everybody gotta have an opportunity to be fed. You have no hunger,
Mm-mm.
right? And everybody gotta be able to have clothes on, clean clothes on their back, right? So those are three standards of living that's not hardwired into the constitutional system.
Hmm.
Because you got homelessness, you got starving people right here on the land. Then you got people that have nowhere to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we used to have ceremonial villages. A ceremonial villages is for people that don't got nowhere else to go. But when you get there, it's gonna be somebody that's gonna give you some blankets, some
That's right.
clothes, and tell you
Yeah.
where to bathe at. Back then, we had tubs outside that we bathed in or we bathed in the river
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
the water wasn't poisoned yet,
No, it was clean. It ran
right?
clean.
Right. So they show you where the bathing spot was. They show you where the waste spot was. This way you go relieve yourself at. Give you the whole tour of the whole little community, how it's set up, where we eat at. If you want to eat with a particular family at their house, or if you want to eat at the communal um, cookout or whatever the case may be, all that was shown to the newcomer.
That's right. I remember seeing movies even that reference that. Like you
Yeah.
see a guy come in town, it was an old 50s movie. And this brown guy came in town and the church woman came, hey baby, I got something for you. She brought him some stuff, showed him the people to talk to, and he felt safe. Like I don't know if it was like, you come into town, a new person, and they would always have, I love that. Like they would have people bring them in and just show them everything, and they have great hospitality.
Look, when most of us was in the 60s marching with King and we went out of town, we didn't stay in no hotels. We couldn't afford that
That's
shit.
right. There was host houses. Yes. I used to see that in the
Yeah.
shows. Yeah. And people talk about
That's
them.
our culture. That's our culture.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
we used to have check-in chiefs. They didn't took it to a whole level and turned it into something it ain't supposed to be. But the check-in chief was supposed to tell you everything you need to know about what you need in this area, and then appoint somebody to be your guide.
Mhm. They still do that in
Now
parts of
they,
Africa. They still do that.
yeah,
They have the chief you meet on before you go in the village. And he's the one who kind of talks to you, feels you out a little bit, and then lets you know what's going on. That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
might tell you can't come in the village because your energy ain't right.
That's right. That's why you have to go through the chief first. I remember someone traveling through and they were like, we couldn't go in the village until we spoke to the chief first.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll take one more person because it's almost 11 o'clock. We'll take Mary Kay. She's been waiting since the last one of the night. Like, come on in. I like when you say chiefing with the chief. I like Rod does his thing. It's so cute. I love it. I came in one night, you were on. I was like, oh, snap. It was like late
Yeah,
night. I went
I'm
to
gonna
bed
try to
though.
pull you up too.
I know I went to sleep. I fell asleep because I was late. I was like, yo, he's chiefing with the chief. It was really sweet. I like it. Okay, let me bring Mary Kay. I went fast asleep. I didn't even know I fell asleep. It's that
Yeah,
time of
I was doing that one for celebrating my pop's birthday.
Oh, for real? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Come here, Mary Kay. Mary Kay. Mary Kay.
I like that. Okay, let me
She
bring
got
Mary
she
Mary
Kay.
got to
Kay.
turn her
She got a
her
TV on.
computer
Yeah.
down.
Hello.
Mary Kay,
Can you hear
turn
me?
your computer off, hun.
I was doing that one
Mary
for she
Kay.
can mute it. She don't gotta turn it off. She can mute it though.
For
Oh
real?
yeah, Mary
That's
Kay.
awesome. That's awesome.
How?
Yeah,
Hey,
turn off your computer. Turn off your sound.
hey, do you hear me?
Yeah, but you got to turn off your
Okay,
sound off the YouTube.
okay, hey, do you hear me?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Hey, Mary Kay.
Sorry. You know what? I don't know why we got two things going on. Yes, yes.
That's okay. There you go.
Okay. How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Fleur. And hello, Chief. Good evening. I
How
am
you
just
doing?
wanting to, I'm good. I wanted to ask you about a surgery that I had like a long time ago. And it just really it's affected kind of my whole life and stopped a lot of my progress. And so it affected my electrical system and it just kind of kept me in bondage. So I wanted to just ask you about that, and if you saw like maybe I was going to be able to come out of this, and maybe how many lifetimes I've been in this kind of bondage, because I have a feeling that it's been
What's
several
what
times.
was the surgery?
It was a spinal surgery, as for just for a condition, but it was done on my spine.
So they do have a lot of technology coming out specifically to deal with spinal issues. That's going to be released. Then you're going to have the med bed, which, depending on how bad the situation is, can also serve to correct the original condition. But
Mhm.
what was the side effects from it?
It's made like so that my nerves, they just don't, it's almost like I have kind of like, it would be like a paralysis, but internally. So it's just like I have some numbness and just dysfunction in the nerves and the way the nerves fire and the way the nerve routing goes.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and how long ago you say it was?
Oh, it was a long time. It was 1999.
It's a while ago.
So it's like 26 years ago.
Mhm.
Have you tried any supplements for the condition, like amino acids?
Yeah, uh-huh. I've tried a lot of different things. But I feel like the other, aside from the physical, I feel like it was done, like there was a purpose in them trying to hold me back and trying to hold back the feminine, or that there's some connection there with that too.
It's hard to say because they love destroying women's bodies
Mm,
so that they can't reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of their war standards that they use,
mm,
especially if they think she's going to produce a gifted child. They
mm.
more likely to disrupt her reproductive process.
Yeah, well,
But
luckily I
when
was
you
in,
did, Go ahead, sweetie. What you say?
Oh, I said, luckily I was able to do that before I even had this.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow, good.
So a lot of what you describing is common side effects from spinal surgeries. Matter
Mhm.
of fact, I had C3, C4, what they call a hangman's break. And
Oh, okay.
so they had to go in through my neck, and I
Oh,
still have numbness all the way through my neck where they went through at.
Mm.
So it's common to have numbness and loss of sensation following because they can't not damage a nerve. It's almost impossible when you're working directly with the nervous system to not do something that interferes with the processing of the nerve at one point of the operation to the other. Something's going to get interrupted.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
I have a
Okay.
little suggestion.
Uh-huh.
It's a little unorthodox, but with the spine, there's forms of magnetic uh, therapy where you can use heavy magnets, or there's sometimes they're in different geometrical shapes, and
Hmm.
place them at the base, and then sometimes ascending up the spine and descending. That sometimes helps to jumpstart the electrical system, kind of help to kind of energize. And your body naturally has its way of trying to mitigate when we have issues, whether it has to do with health internally or externally. The body's masterful. I mean, this technology that we've been given is the best. And that's why they're always trying to hijack it. Because if they can't have it and get it, they try to disrupt it. So if you can do some magnetic therapy, it doesn't have to be orthodox or professionally done. If you can get geometrical shapes of and have someone, nicely while you're lying. If you can you lie flat? Is it uncomfortable for you to lie flat in your tummy?
Yeah, yeah, I can. That's no
Well, I'd
problem.
ask that you do it, and this is going to be a little unorthodox. Hopefully, there's no children in the room. FleurBrun goes left a little times, okay? Because I'm a fan of clothing as a disruptor. So I always say if you can safely, as a woman, find a space outside without clothing, disrobe yourself and do magnetic, because remember, the earth is also grounding. So the earth will also help to mitigate because it naturally has harmonizing frequencies that will help along with the magnetic frequency. So if you can safely, with a friend, like safely somewhere, lie flat on the ground without clothing, do roped, and also before you do this, just take a bath in salt water because salt water is also an energizer. Just rinse in salt water. You don't have to do it, just rinse it off because it'll help. And just lie flat on the ground and allow someone to place the magnets on your back. Like I said, ascending, maybe starting from the base of the spine, going upward, and then also leaving it there, kind of letting the energies and lying and closing your eyes, allowing the energy to do so, and then doing it with descending motion, meaning change the geometrical shapes of the magnets and put it on your back. And
Okay.
maybe do that, be in that stance for maybe 15, 20 minutes. And
Mhm.
also one other suggestion, because the trees are magnetic and really palatable for this. If you can stand or sit at the base of a tree, and again, clothing is a disruptor. So when you wear unnatural fibers like polyesters or things that are not linen or wool, or cottons, it really disrupts our magnetic frequency. We weren't meant to wear clothing. When colonizers came and they saw us as being so free and natural, but our body is the technology that works and can fix things. If you can sit at the base of a tree, if you can comfortably sit lotus and just put your back towards the tree and kind of like allow your spine to be aligned with the tree, that might help. The tree might give some of that baseline frequency to help align and fix, or not really fix, but maybe balance out your meridians that are causing like the disruptions in your spine energetically.
Okay. Where would I get those magnets? You
I'm gonna find, because I saw this when I was abroad. So I'm gonna find the place where I have it, and what I'll do is I'll post it on on my channel and just
Mhm.
look, okay? Because I
Okay.
remember seeing it when I was in Brazil. The Brazilians have wonderful ways of doing, they love doing wonderful things like that. So when I find a place, and just if you can try it and let myself and Rod know how you're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you
I hope you
both.
feel better. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Chief.
And also remember, clothing matters. Do not try to refrain from putting anything that is non-organic on your body.
Right.
Okay? That'll
Yep.
also help harmonize you. And linens also help sleeping and fresh linens, 100% like French linens at night. That helps to harmonize the meridians in the body as well.
Okay. Yep.
Okay?
Got it.
Feel
Uh,
better, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you. Same to
You
you.
too.
Woohoo! We made it. Go Rod. Go Rod.
I forgot all about the magnets, and the
Yeah.
tree is the most stable energy because they grounded and rooted.
Yeah. It works.
So
Like when I gave birth to my first daughter, I remember I was having really bad like lower back pain, and my trees used to talk to me telepathically. It was wild. Everybody thought I was going crazy. It's like the last stage of pregnancy. I was like, I could hear them. Hear them. So I remember going out and I went out and my favorite tree, I sat down and I put the base of my bum, like on the base of the tree, and I just leaned back. And oh my God, my back pain went away. It was magical. And anytime I had that lower, because you know that lower, because especially when you're all off, like your meridians are off because you're like imbalanced. Every time I sat underneath the tree, it harmonized my meridians in my back. That's where I learned that from. And they actually have such a connection to the woman's body, to everybody's body, but especially women. So I feel like it's best to go to them for assistance, but the magnets will help too.
yeah, them trees are something else.
They're magical.
I told you when I was in Florida, I had talked to a tree and he gave me a message and sent me to talk to the tree up here. It told me to touch the tree up here.
Yes, like a phone line. That's the best
Mm.
form of communication. They can't hear it
Look,
because they ain't
so
sharing the messages.
look, soon as I touched the big tree out in front of the house,
Hmm.
because like when I touched the tree in Florida, he told me this the big tree in front of your house.
Oh
Like,
my
how
God.
the you know that?
Oh, I love
So when I got back, I had forgot about it for about a week, right?
that. Mhm.
And then I heard the tree from Florida say, "You just ain't gonna do what I asked you to do." So I got up out of my bed,
Yeah.
went outside, put my feet. They be wanting to remind me to take my shoes off. I take my shoes off and step on the roots. And as soon as my two palms touched the tree, every tree in the neighborhood bust out laughing.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. But this is
I
how
was
we
looking around like, what the?
isn't that magical? And they have such a close relationship with us. Like it would be my goal to have it live in tree houses. You said that one time. We never used to walk on the ground. You said we used to live on
It was
treetops.
different tribes. We had treetop tribes.
I think that's
They used
awesome.
to walk from they used to walk from New Orleans to Florida without coming out the treetops.
I love that. I love that. Could you
And
imagine? It's so
that's what all them lumberjack stories is really about, chopping down the trees to get rid of the treetop tribes.
sad. Oh boy. It's so much has happened since then. But I want to thank Rod Hayes for coming on tonight, y'all. What? He was a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much, Rod. And also, I want everyone to give some love to Rod. I put his Cash App and his PayPal in there. Make sure you show love. He comes on here, shares such great information, really shares his time with us. Show some love to Rod Hayes, so that he comes back on our channel again, please. You know what I'm saying? And Rod, are you doing anything soon? Is there anything you want anyone to know? Can you share like anywhere I know you do Chief, which I really like that you do on IG. Can you give everyone like some information on something you're doing? Are you doing anything?
I don't have nothing on the schedule right now
Okay.
because I'm waiting on whatever this fallout finna be to happen.
Oh,
So I don't have to do this on social media. People can come see me.
I want you to come see me on the spaceship, but you won't come. So I guess I have to come see you on
I ain't getting
Earth.
on a spaceship.
You won't come, Rod, even if it's my spaceship.
I'll wave at you.
You so much, Rod Hayes. I want to thank everybody for coming in on again a wonderful show with Rod Hayes. Again, show him some love, and again, check out Rod on different channels. He does a lot of great visits with other people, talking about many different topics. And I will see you guys probably later on this week. So I want to thank everybody, and see you guys later. See, okay, bye everybody.